Alright, so this is an air-in valve on a Primus 26 by 26 sterilizer. And what we're going to do today is rebuild it. And the reason that we are going to rebuild this particular valve, it is making a god-awful humming sound at startup. And what's really odd is after the startup and you run an initial cycle, the first one will fail. But after the first one fails, it will run perfectly fine thereafter, and it's because this valve gets freed up. And what I'm doing right now is taking the body of the valve off, which is the top. Slowly but surely removing all 4 of the bolts. And once we have all 4 bolts removed, we'll slowly remove the top because there is a little spring on the inside. It doesn't really go flying, but if you're just rebuilding the valve to put it back together and you don't have any parts, you're going to have to reuse that. But as soon as you pull the body of the valve off, you will see in the very center that little circular thing is the actual spring itself. And you'll slowly remove the plunger portion off the body of the valve. And there's actually an O-ring, and it gets stuck to the bottom of the plastic portion of that valve that gets removed. So there it is. There's the new one going down. After you place the O-ring down, you will then place the new plunger down. And you'll need to make note of the little circular peephole and make sure that it is on the outside of the air-in valve. And then you will replace the top. And on this new top, I've already replaced the bonnet off to the side, which is the silver portion. Alright, so this is the white Teflon O-ring that goes in the new bonnet. That is the new bonnet being screwed on. There is a seal-tight type material on the threads already, so there's no need to add anything. And you'll use an adjustable wrench to just tighten it down. You will need to keep an eye on that Teflon O-ring on the inside to make sure that you do not roll it. If you roll the O-ring, it causes the valve to stick, which will create a humming sound, or it just won't work. So I'm tightening it down very, very carefully. Do not want to over tighten it. And I'm continuously checking that O-ring to make sure I did not over tighten it and cause it to bulge out. And then you'll slowly put all 4 bolts back in. Make sure you have everything lined up perfectly. If it's not lined up perfectly, you could risk the valve sticking. Another thing, once you get all the bolts tightened down, you do not want to over tighten them. You can crack valves, and you can also crack other portions of the pipe. So what I'm doing here is hand tightening each screw, and then I will come around at the end with the actual wrench itself and slightly tighten each one. So you'll see where I'll do about a quarter turn on each one. Nothing overly tight. The goal is just not to let any steam or pressure loss come from the valve itself. So I'm going back and just double checking to make sure that they're tight. I could have obviously tightened it up way tighter, but obviously, like I said, it's very easy to crack it. That little silver ring has to go down on the bonnet before the valve coil, and then the valve coil slips down, and then your ASCO plate goes on top of that, and then your metal clip which holds it all together. That is a complete air-in valve rebuild on a Primus sterilizer. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at service@marsmed.com or give us a call at 877-897-MARS.